Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for a little expanded episode from a First 10. This is battle number 10 from my M4A3E2 French Jumbo First 10. This was a battle that happened on the 9th of January, and if you want to see the entire First 10 that this came from, I'll put a link in the description with a link to that First 10 in case you missed it or in case you're watching this well in the future. And anyway, in the previous battle, battle number 9, I had finished just 200 points short from the M61 APC-BC shells for the M4A3E2 Sherman Jumbo, and was really hoping to have been able to use them in battle 10, but oh well. So this battle went pretty well after the first 10 and even after the final thoughts, so I decided why not make this an expanded video, which I've done a couple times before, at least once before. As we're moving up with following an M4A1 FL10 premium French tank, moving up to the A capture here, I'm looking to hide out in the bamboo here and hopefully get a couple of ambushing shots with the default AP round, which isn't terrible, but it's not the best. And I definitely, for the Shermans with the 75mm gun, like the Jumbo and the non-M4 Jumbo 76s, or the non-76s anyway, I would definitely recommend that you use both shells, because sometimes you want the slightly better penetration that the AP round has, and sometimes you want the explosive post-penetration effects that the M61 shell has, so there's definitely cases where you want to use both. So as I'm pulling up, there's smoke coming from the far side of the battlefield by the capture point, so clearly, besides the fact that the enemy is now capturing, there was obviously enemy tanks up at the capture point on the far side of the little village here. You could just see one through the smoke there to the left before I swung my turret to the right. I didn't see it during the actual battle, but it won't be an issue because we'll see them soon enough. So there are two enemy tanks on the far side right there, directly in front there, and there's one up, there's a Jumbo up at the capture point. So I'm just kind of holding back, scanning a little bit, counting on my frontal armor to save me if I don't notice anybody up front, because there's guys... Buildings are getting knocked down, bamboo's getting knocked down, there's shots firing all over the place, and I haven't seen anybody marked yet, so I'm kind of trying to figure out... I don't want to go too far forward and get shot from the right, even though that KV-1 is over there, because I'm not sure what's knocking the buildings down. We've stalled out their cap. There's one in front of us, takes a shot, and my armor saves me, and then I get a kill shot on him. And then the second tank, the M6A1, appears. I get a good shot through his 45mm shoulder armor here. And if I'd have had the APC-BC round, I probably would have killed him. My follow-up shot, I was just off the shoulder armor and it bounced. And I took a crippling shot from the other Jumbo up here on the cap. I missed his gun, and he hits me under the Sherman Jumbo's giant glaring weak spot with the M61 shell, and that's that. This is the kill shot I probably would have gotten in the M6A1 had I had those shells. Ah, well. I did get enough points to come back in the Super Sherman, which is good. And no, I'm not really under artillery fire in our spawn. That's just the carryover from... They fired artillery at me as I was still in the death cam, so... So as I'm pulling forward, you can see a Cobra King Jumbo just cruising past somebody he just killed. And I wait till I can see him moving in the shadows here behind the trees, get a pretty decent shot at him. Not quite the shot I wanted, but enough to set him on fire and immobilize him. And I know where he is, he doesn't know where I am. For a moment, I thought that was the kill assist on him, but that was the kill assist on the M6 up at the cap. So I get a follow-up shot that I thought was going to kill him. I was just off, but I did at least start a second fire. So he's mine now, as long as he doesn't shoot me. And then I get a follow-up third shot, which actually was on target for the turret and the rest of the crew. And that takes him out for another kill. And then it was time to continue back on to the A point and help the team up at the capture. So we spot somebody firing machine guns up here, just over the little bit of a depression up there in front of us. See him backing up. It's a Cheeto. I do not want to let him get away. I also do not want to allow him to get a shot on me, which was pretty close there, and he certainly would have gone through the front of the Super Sherman. I got some pretty good damage on his crew, and then finished him with a follow-up. And then it was time to continue back onwards into the battle. Our team has finished capturing the A point, so we've swung the ticket bleed around, and we've got multiple enemy aircraft coming in, including a P-47 right here that I'm really hoping to put a shot through. Right as I fired, he makes his turn. I'm not sure that I would have got him there, but I think I had a pretty good chance at it, the direction he was heading. Somebody got one of the P-47s there in an AMX-13 DCX or DCA-40, which is a big upgrade from the CCKW that I was still unfortunately saddled with at this point. So you can see we've got guys down near their spawn, which of course, as I've said before, is not my favorite thing. An awful lot of air power overhead, which is a bit frightening because P-47s are certainly very dangerous and can get multiple kills, at least 2 with their bomb drops, if not anything with their rockets. But, so here is where the final thoughts ran out, right there. So everything from here on out was not anything that anyone has seen in the first 10 for the M4A3E2, so. Pushing forward in my Super Sherman here. Pick up an enemy M24 coming in hot. Get a good one-shot kill on him. He never really had much of a chance. He was moving, he doesn't have a stabilizer, and I saw him coming in time to get stopped and get my gun stabilized. And with the big AP round that this thing fires, forget it. So I figure, well, it's not too much call for being stealthy here as we're coming through the bamboo with a KV-2 next to me, so I'm going to pull up onto this little bit of a rise here and try to get pointed at where they're going to approach coming out of their spawn, while not hopefully being able to see and shoot directly into their spawn. About as close as I want to get. And just sit here and wait for them to come back in and try to take the A point from us. Sure enough, quickly enough, and a Pony 3 comes along. Get a good one-shot kill into him. The spalling effects of the Super Sherman's upgraded round are pretty darn good. Go back into scanning. The M24 has de-rezzed. I'm not sure if he left the game or if he's respawned, so we'll have to keep an eye out for him. You can see we don't really have a lot of defense near the A point at the moment. We've got a couple airplanes up, and our team is a bit spread out. The KV-2 is up as a forward picket. He's about right on top of their spawn almost, along with the other heavy that's up there on top of their spawn. And I'm trying to get my gun around for a shot at this circling P-47 here. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ah, he's going to just stay above where my gun can reach. And the second P-47 is on top of our DO-17, and I can't do anything about rolling my turret around fast enough to do anything for anti-air in this. The turret rotation and the gun rays are just not there for real good tracking of aircraft. You can get shots on airplanes if you can see them coming in time to have your gun ready, but not really going to be able to react. I've also got a fairly low gunner skill on all my French tank crews as well. But that had nothing to do with it there. The action isn't over yet. I know it's a little bit boring right here, but there's action soon to come. I fired a bit early on that P-47 there, I believe. He also ducked and rolled under it, which I'm sure was not related to me shooting at him, just his normal maneuver, but I didn't really have a chance of hitting him. KV-1 has been taken out right on top of their spawn, which is always funny when guys get killed trying to be right in the enemy spawn when an enemy appears with a gun that's capable of defeating them and just sits there and says, yeah, you know what, I'm going to sit with my spawn protection on and just blast you one, and that's that for you. So you can see a tank getting marked over here to my right on top of the KV-2. That's pretty far out of their spawn, and I'm going to go and move over there and try to help the KV-2 before he gets knocked out. I can't tell if he's being outmaneuvered or if he's already crippled or what. I'm definitely, or he could be reloading. I definitely do not want to wait around for him to get the kill on this and end up dying in the meantime, so. Didn't quite get the hit I wanted there. Could see him through the far side of the bushes and was able to use the bushes more or less as cover. He's a bit too close. He's a lot closer to their spawn than I really want to be shooting him, but at this point, he is moved out of their spawn. I don't like shooting people this close to their spawn at all. Took a pretty good hit from the Cromwell there back, and then a Tase, or a Soki rather, comes up and is closing around me. So I'm actually in a little bit of a pickle here. Thankfully, for whatever reason, he gave up his shooting position and charged me. I don't know really what the Cromwell was thinking. He should have sat where he was and continued to shoot shots into where he had damaged me. Luckily, I didn't take very serious damage from this shot either. Which was the second Cromwell that the KV-2 then defeated, and I'm going to move and relocate behind these bushes again because somebody's coming up inside the smoke. And I'm kind of caught in a little bit of a crossfire between this M6 coming up that I got a real good hit in, and the Soki that's behind me. So I warned the team that there's somebody moving for the... First I said the B point, but then the A point. Now, I know where this guy is, and I can see him through the bushes. I mean, not that I can't see him through the bushes, but I know he's on the far side of the bushes because I've already hit him. And right as I'm turning around to deal with the Soki, I finally get killed by an Achilles who's coming up out of their spawn. So all is fair. And if you watch the chat, as I come back in my AMX-13 FL11 to get in and defend the A point, the M6 that I killed thinks I'm using ultra-low graphics, which is not true. I just saw where he was before he got behind the bushes and just knew where to shoot, as you can see by this video. But anyway, I did shoot him through bushes, it's true. However, it's not because I could see him through the bushes, it's because I saw him go behind the bushes and just knew where to shoot. Not quite the same thing as ultra-low graphics. Put some artillery up on the A point because that little SPAA has now made it in there to start capturing. There was an M24 spawn killing at our spawn. He's been dealt with. Thankfully, because he could have dealt with my AMX-13 if he'd have wanted to. We don't really have to hurry too badly to get back to the A point, blindly rush in, because we've got a very, very healthy ticket lead. And I'm just trying to get past the, he's been marked by probably my artillery hitting the SPAA on the Cat. They've almost got it captured, and then he gets taken out by the Panzer IV-H, and that pretty much seals the deal. We just have to get in there and retake it. And the ticket bleed is going to do the rest for us here. We've got a little bit of a machine gun fire coming in. I took a pretty decent hit, dropped my smoke. There were actually two of them coming, not just the one that I could see. And the Achilles there, or sorry, an M4A1 that I hit and got a decent penetration shot on. No, it was the Achilles that I hit, and then the M4 off to the left also killed me. So decided I'll come back in my M10 gun motor carriage because it needs more research. And the CCKW is just too slow and pokey. Our team is recapturing the 8-point now, so we're in a pretty good position there, and I'm going to try to make it back in the M10, which doesn't have the world's best acceleration. There's a assist for the Achilles that I had hit right before I got taken out by the M4A1. And just trying to warn the guy that it's not just the Achilles, there's also a Sherman there, and he's taken out the KV-2, so he should have been identified as to where he shot from, but that's going to be it. I'm not going to make it back up to the battle to try and get revenge on the Sherman, as the game is going to end with 7 kills, 2 assists, and unfortunately no captures, but not too bad for second place, really. And I finished all the modifications for my AMX-13 FL11, so got a little extra research towards my ARL-44 as well. Also finished a research mod for my Super Sherman, and finished up a research mod for my M4A3E2 as well, so quite a few modifications finished off at the end of this battle. And I took a screenshot there for the first 10 just to show my final state of research, what I was able to accomplish, because I did finish the M61 shot, which I had talked about before the previous battle. And then I changed my research to the horizontal drive in an effort to get the modification, the Tier 1 modification research for booster for completing the Tier 1 mods for the Super Sherman. So there you go, there's the total score results. Finished a mod for everything I drove, and ended up in second place. Didn't have any air kills, unfortunately, but not too bad of a battle altogether anyway. And there you can see what the gold star was. It was one of the Christmas tree tasks. So another light on the Christmas tree. And there's the kill feed. So just for all of you guys who want to see what a full battle looks like on a first 10, there's a good one. I don't do them too often, and this is another reason why I don't do full battles in first 10s either, which you'll also see in another video coming up this week. That'll do for now. Thank you, everyone. Take care.